Thank you very much, Alex, for your wonderful presentation. Just one thing, my name is Dr. Day. I'm working as a academician and also working for research work, mostly climate and adaptation and sustainable development like this. So my query to you, first, how we can apply the way of application for getting grant funding like this. So what is the way?
I think
This is one, and then how we can do collaboration like this. And then your expertise or our expertise, we can work together. What is the way? Thank you very much.
who your question refers to both of them?
Yeah, just Alex is the
Alex.
is right. Okay.
All right. Okay, thank you for the question. It's a really good one. So basically what we do is we try to work with private sector companies, but also there's an ecosystem of partners as well. So typically we will look for a company that is in, let's use agri-processing as an example, and a company that's looking to move further into climate change, climate adaptation areas. Maybe it's introducing new seeds, better breeds, introducing machinery. There's a whole range of areas that can make Bangladesh more climate resilient. In those areas, we try to identify those partners and then work out a way that we can de-risk them and leveraging the grant money to do that. Typically, it requires some co-investment. So usually, the company will contribute anywhere from 50% to 25%, depending on the company. And then the DFCD will match that grant money, or up to 75%. The second piece that I think is important, so this is working directly with a company. There's a second piece that's equally important, is there's a lot of ecosystem partners probably in the room as well. So maybe someone has IoT partnerships, or they also have been working on a genetic material. We can also try to holistically think how we can partner people in. So I think that's also part of the thinking process.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My name is Shohidul Islam. I'm just representing Syngenta Bangladesh Limited. As you know, the Syngenta is a global multinational company, the based in Switzerland. I have specific questions regarding the FMO. That brilliant talks regarding ESG. I'm also working in the sustainability and ESG issues. That my questions is arise. Is it ESG is mandatory for the organizations in the Dutch for getting the loan?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yes. Is it ESG is mandatory for the companies?
That's a minimum for us.
Is a minimum what is the minimum requirement for getting the ESG for the Dutch companies? What minimum standards?
Yeah, for us, the very minimum standard is that there's that the company applies to the rules of the country. And then next to that, if you look at the IFC performance standards, there is a whole list of requirements. I'm in the commercial team, so I'm not an expert on that. But what we typically do is on almost every transaction, we onboard an ENS specialist from FMO. And then oftentimes we also hire a consultant that helps investigate what type of local ENS issues there might be. So we can really look into the administration of wages, whether that's on par to ensure that there's not too much overtime. We can really do a thorough check on health and safety to ensure that there's no fire hazards. All those elements, we need them to be at least at the minimum standard, and the company needs to be willing for it to really reach international standards. That's what we're looking for.
Yes, thank you very much. I have one more question regarding the Alex. I have seen that one of the fund that you are providing biodiversity, the biodiversity fund, that we are working for the pollinator safety, especially for the bee protections of Bangladesh who don't have any plan or loan in these connections. If we connect, say for example, Syngenta Bangladesh connect to the your organizations, is there any facilities that you are in a position to provide?
So the question is, are we linking on biodiversity? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So before I go to that question, just to finish the thought here that you asked with Rick. So sometimes the DFCD is also involved with some of the ESG support with the companies. So there's a natural linkage there. So I just want to highlight that. In biodiversity, I'd like to start with a case example. So recently, the DFCD began to work with a company in Indonesia called Forest Carbon to do carbon credit. And it's actually quite a sizable project. So we are quite actively looking at biodiversity. And I think for Bangladesh, there's a big opportunity for biodiversity. Like the Sundarbans is such a, an opportunity that's there. It's an area where we'd like to explore and then replicate what we're doing maybe in other countries here. And I guess that would be my key point is we can take best practices that we're learning, come to Bangladesh and then build on those. So we're quite keen to look at the Sundarbans, but there's other areas in Bangladesh as well, not just the Sundarbans. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Nurul Alam. Actually, just I started my agrotech business like hydroponic or aquaponic, but I am facing some problem to start the export in the market at a different destination in the world. And is there any opportunity and any advisory rule from FOMO that if we can onboard with us and we can introduce our company in the world to expedite or expand our export proceed in the world? Is there any advisory or any facilities you have? Thank you.
So that is not truly our expertise. Like we're, in essence, we're a financial institution that provides financing. But what we can do is introduce companies to comparable clients of ours. That's what we often do, so that clients learn from each other, that they learn about the markets and export opportunities. And we also organize events. But that's not our core focus as a bank. But thank you for the question.
Hi. Hello. I'm Dash. Actually, I'm engaged in the shrimp processing and shrimp farming. We are in the business for the last 38 years. Bangladesh is just in the transformation of especially Bangladesh was doing the pure culture of the black tiger. So as long as our productivity is still 300 kilos per hectare, because all our farmers are very much strict with their extensive cultures. So just 2 years before, Bangladesh started the Vannamei farming, and I'm privileged to say that I introduced the Vannamei farming in Bangladesh. So based on my company result, government finally approved the Vannamei farming in Bangladesh. So my question is that, like we saw that, like at this moment, we are talking about almost 200,000 hectares of land is using for the shrimp farmings. And our productivity is only 300 kilos. If you see our export, it is regularly declining. The best time we have been doing 550 million, maybe 10 years before, now we are doing only 300 millions, maybe less. So is what we feel, I am not a technical guy, but we feel that transforming to the Vannamei farming for our farmers will be a climate resilience product to grow more, to ensure more protein for the local people, as well as to earn more export for the country also. So in that case, because I already start doing 110 acres of farming, but I need more fund to scale up these things. So really DFCD or FMG, they can help in this regard or not. And also I came late, sorry for that. That's why I missed the presentation also, and where I will get the presentation also.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So FMO has invested in quite a few shrimp projects internationally. We also understand that right now the shrimp market internationally is quite tough because shrimp prices are quite low because Vannamei farming is so efficient and effective. So that has really reduced, because of the technological innovation there, the price of Vannamei shrimp farming. Whether there is more appetite for FMO to invest in shrimp farming right now, I'm not sure. It really depends on the case. That's my honest answer. Like I think there is a huge opportunity for shrimp here in Bangladesh, but we do need to find the right business case.
Thanks for your kind answer. And it is not something like that I need the answer right now. But I just want to supplement here. We have almost 180 million people in a small country. And if you see our local market here, our shrimps are selling in the domestic market in the highest prices compared with anywhere places in the world. So not even talking about the export, because we have a huge gap, we have a huge demand. We are a fully protein-based nations because we are not the nations like India where a huge amount of people is the veg. So what we are saying here, because I think last year I produced 100 tons, I did not bring these goods for my exports. I simply sold it in the local market, and I compared this price with the Ecuador and India, and Bangladesh domestic price is simply maybe 30% higher than any of the country of the world. So there's the things I just want to supplement. There is opportunities there because we have a ready domestic market here. So, and thank you.
Yeah, I'll just respond to this. So I think from our side, and this is true for anyone in the room, if anyone has a business and they're working on things, we're happy to talk with you. We'll give out cards. Also, Mahin is here. Mahin is our local presence. Yep, so in the back. So please also reach out to Mahin. But we're happy to talk with any of the companies, and we know companies are at different stages and doing different things. Not everything will fit the DFCD, but some might. But even if you don't fit the DFCD, there may be other programs. And I think it's highlighted in this event today, the Dutch linkage is quite deep and quite broad. Whether it's Invest International, FMO, the DFCD, or other linkages, I think you can clearly see that those are there. Yeah.
Panelists and ladies and gentlemen, I have just 2-3 questions to you. Before that, self-introduction. I'm Nazmul Islam Chaudhary, innovator and founder Pumpkin Plus. We are working in Chorland, in a sense, dealing with the delta, with the abundant people, those who are living on flood protection embankment after losing their home and businesses over 17 times in their life. They are the refugee in a sense. No one is giving credit. No one is funding for them. Nowadays, it is coming. But I'm telling the story 20 years before when I started in 2004. So right now, at the end stage of the summit and end of the day, only one thing I stacked yesterday when our professor was delivering a speech for the global leaders, delegations, and audience. He was crying after 53 years later of our liberation because their daily earning is $1 and below $1 per day. Simultaneously, an alternative dealing with, they were bigger. Within 5 months, they are able to raise their earning.
Can you please put your question?
I'm coming just $5. So right now, 42,000 women are leading, youth are leading in barren land, sand bars after receding water during winter. So my question is to the panelists, particularly the Dutch and Dutch government. They have already funded securing water for food and water energy for food. What is your strategic plan to deal with barren people and barren land for productivity and economic growth in future? And how these innovations, this is not commonly found in journals and other areas, how these innovations, which is not explored, still unfold, will be supported? And how can we make barren land, economic growth, and national development in a policy issue and a strategic issue by addressing right now on the ground? Thank you.
I will start it. You want to answer?
Thank you very much for this very good question, actually. Indeed, I guess there's one thing. What is the Dutch government's plan on Bangladeshi char development? I guess, first of all, the question is, how can the Dutch government unlock the potential of the Bangladeshi IDs? And in that, of course, we have worked already for 70 years in the char development project, where we have given land and land deeds and titles to people who were evicted from the lands due to climate change and were south of Noakhali. They were relocated, and I guess that's 60 kilometers of new land. The polder, at this moment, we have agreement with the Bangladeshi government that we pay 25% and Bangladeshi 75%. So it means it's also part of your national strategy, how to deal with the char and the affected people from the char development. And indeed, you are working also with us, World Bank, ADB, on the riverine development. We have the Jamuna project we're working, Magna, we're working indeed to keep the chars a bit stable instead of letting people relocate each time and losing their livelihoods. Another topic you touched upon is the quality of soil. And I guess that's one that we have to discuss. Of course, we have done a lot of soil projects and intervention, and we have to talk that with the Ministry of Agriculture as well and your own ministry, because at this moment when you have smallholders doing very intensive farming on very small plots, you risk a lot on degradation of soils, and you have again the new refugees made by themselves and made by bad information. And I guess this is where we have to cooperate with the Bangladeshi government. And we do work with the University of Wageningen and the Bangladeshi government. We do work with other organizations like SNV in keeping the soil stable when you do farming. Do rotation, do intercropping, keep land idle for some time and not wait when it gets flooded so you get new soil on it, but also be proactive. And I guess that's the challenge we have to take. Thank you.
Hello. So just listening to one of the earlier questions about investing in shrimp and fish farms. So one thing I just wanted to inquire, although we're a really big fish producing nation, pesticide use in fish farming is quite rampant in our country. So what I want to ask two questions. I'll try to make it super brief. Firstly, for fish exporting from Bangladesh, what do you wish to see from our country from a regulatory point of view? And secondly, I was in a pharmaceutical session earlier on. So our pharmaceutical sector is decades ahead and strides ahead with other competing nations like India, and it's not just because we're cheaper, we're only slightly cheaper. We have many other advantages, but for agricultural manufacturing, be it pesticides, seed production, or whatever you guys see with Bangladesh, what do you see growing in Bangladesh's agriculture for the future, be it in export or whatever it is? Thank you. That will be all.
Would anyone like to?
Well, at this moment, of course, Bangladeshi aquaculture is not really accepted in the European Union because of the pesticides and the use of chemicals and the use of all kind of medicines or antibiotics to the fish. Same goes for your chickens as well. I guess one of the problems is the smallholders, and it's a lack of knowledge, and they don't have a long time horizon for. They want to have quick profit. They need it for their families. So I guess restructuring in that sector is needed. We do work with some Dutch companies and some Bangladeshi companies on, like FishTech, on improving fish farming in Bangladesh, make it up to European standards, actually world standards, in order to export more. Because actually, it's not only that we don't want to eat it, but I guess it's also not the Bangladeshi people that should eat the fish. So therefore, we would work together with the Bangladeshi government on pesticide use, also on quality control, and also keeping control and monitor it. And I guess there's a big challenge still ahead in a country where you have around 10, 15 million farmers, all have a fish pond next to their house, and do fish farming and take it as a side income or an extra income. So I guess there will be a real overhaul of the sector if you want to make that up to standards to international. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Ishtiaq. I'm going to answer his question actually. And this is raise some wrong issues. The fish farm in Bangladesh, Shimpa, they are not using any pesticide or herbicide. A lot of people here, those who are farming in this sector. So this is information for you. I've been in this sector 27 years. So it is strictly prohibited by the regulations, and people don't use any pesticide herbicide. This is my answer to his questions along with you. Thank you.
Thank. Mr. Debashish Sharkar, are you here? Huh? So, can you just come over here and make some comments on what? If you would like to say something on the kind of discussion regarding financing issues, and it appears from the nature of questions that there is quite huge demand for finance, and to what extent that you think that Bangladesh Bank can contribute to the process apart from the existing credit policy.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm again here. Actually, you know, every year Bangladesh Bank update and publish the agriculture and rural credit policy for the agricultural credit sector. In that sector, 60% of the rural credit is we just instruct the banks to use for the crop production, 13% for the fisheries, and 15% for the livestock. So here, this year, Bangladesh Bank has given the commercial banks a target of 380 billion. That means, I'm telling in Bangla, that 38,000 koti taka, 38,000 crore taka for the agricultural sector. That means every bank have to disperse their agricultural credit by 38,000 crore taka, which is for the bank. How we actually set the target? The target is actually set it by like this, that 2.5% of their total credit exposure should go to the agricultural sector. So, yeah, besides this, there several schemes are being operated by the Bangladesh Bank. From my department, we actually presently running 8,000 crore taka scheme, which are being actually on the reduced rate. And from my SME department, as I earlier told you that 14,000 for 1400 koti taka, 1,400 crore taka is being allocated for the agriculture processing industry. And there are several schemes and money is there. So for the agricultural finance, I think there are lots of opportunity is there in the banking sector. But what do we need? Well, actually, I know I'm in the charge of the agriculture credit department. What I found, basically, I found that my policy is there, everything is there, but these are not actually properly, it is published, but not reached to the proper users. So if you go to my website or collect my agriculture credit policy, then you will find that there are lots of opportunity for the lots of investment opportunity is there. So if you have any question from the part of the central bank, I'm here to answer you. Thank you. Yes, actually, I will request you two things. When you go to my website, you will find a customer complaint CIPC. Okay? You can lodge your complaint there, or I will request, if it is the agriculture related, directly write to me. And I'm ensuring you that immediately I will send my officials to there to find out what's happening. Thank you.
I think we are almost at the fag end of this session. But before I request our Honorable Deputy Head of Mission to make closing remark, I would like to make a few comments. By coming to this, by attending this session and the previous sessions, and the kind of dynamism that I see among the Bangladeshi investors, I feel more encouraged that this country is going to take a huge step in agriculture and agriculture development and agriculture process industry. As a citizen of this country, I'm feeling very, very encouraged, and I must thank the Danish, Netherlands government, and I came to learn from the Honorable Deputy Head of Mission that they have been working with Bangladesh or this part of the country for over 70 years, since 50s, right? Yes, since 50s. So they have been making huge contribution to the development of agriculture sector in Bangladesh. I will request all of you to applaud their contribution to the development. Now may I request our Honorable Deputy Head of Mission to make closing remarks.
Does it work? Yeah. Closing remarks. Well, how can I say closing remarks when the discussion is just starting? If I hear it so. This is a bit of a difficult task for me, but indeed, let's say the journey has just begun. Bangladesh is open. Bangladesh is now a country that welcomes investors, and thanks to the new BIDA, we are getting less rules and regulations, and we are really open for investors. We have the MBR also talking openly to you and also wanted to be criticized, which is, of course, a new Bangladesh. What we do see as the Netherlands, at this moment you only see financial institutions in this room because we're talking about finance. But behind them, there are a lot of companies that want to work together with you, but you do need first to also the rules and regulations right. And we saw Nouria's presentation in the first half. Something needs to be done, but I guess with all effort, we can unlock the potential of Bangladesh. And indeed, I would love to have the Bangladeshi sweetwater fish, Bangladeshi shrimp, Bangladeshi mangoes, Bangladeshi bananas everywhere in the Netherlands in my supermarket. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. With this, our session is closed. Thank you.